Do you know what my favorite part of a watercolor painting is? It's the translucent glow you get from a watercolor painting. I love how you can layer the paints, and every layer will shine through one another. And it just has this kind of magical, luminous glow to the color. And you would think you need some really fancy pigment to create this look, and you would be wrong. It's not about watercolor paint, and it's everything about the paper you use. Hi, I'm Tracy Lizotte. I'm a watercolor artist, and I'm here today to talk all about watercolor paper. I'm going to tell you what my favorite paper is and what to look for when choosing watercolor paper. Now, I just got back from my local art store. I like to go and hand pick out my paper, and I picked up kind of a variety pack to share with you. I went with my favorite brand. Now, there's a lot of good brands out there, so I definitely encourage you to go try, sample different paper, different weights, different textures. These are like the big things you want to look for. You also want to consider, what is the paper made out of? Because it could be made out of wood, it could be made out of cotton. Is it acid free? Is the sizing in the paper? So there's some things here on the label you want to go over, and you want to understand what these things mean when picking out watercolor paper. Now, my favorite brand is Arches. I've been using it since I was a little girl. I really love Arches, but that doesn't mean I haven't tried other brands, and I have. And I was always encouraged by other artists to try things. I always did, and you know what? I always came right back to Arches because that's just my own personal choice. Because I know some amazing artists that do amazing paintings on different weights and different brands than what I use. So definitely you got to go out and find your own, what works best for you. The first choice you get to make is, what do you want to get? But right now I want to share with you what a watercolor block is. Now, a watercolor block is gummed on the side, and you paint a painting on it. It's great, you can move it around and stuff. And then when you're done, you put your artist palette knife, or in my case I like to use an X-Acto knife, and you just trim it off, pull it off, and then the block's ready for another painting. This is a watercolor pad. Now here you just get to peel off the paper, and maybe depending on what the weight is, you're gonna wanna tape it down to paint on. Now for me, I personally like to go in and order it by the sheet. This is wrapped up. I haven't even pulled it out of the package yet. What it is, it's this cardboard behind it. There's 2 sheets of watercolor paper in here, and I'll show you what it looks like. Now, the paper I like to paint on is a very heavy weight. Hear that? See that? I mean, it doesn't even bend, and this is a giant sheet. This is 300 pounds. So this is what 300-pound paper looks like. It kind of looks like cardboard. I love getting it by the sheet because it allows me to cut out any shape I want to paint on. I like painting on 300 pound because it's heavy enough that I don't have to tape it down, but easy enough for me to pick it up and move, so I can move my paints around. Now, let's go over some of the things you need to look for when picking out watercolor paper. We talked about the brand, and like I said, there's a lot of great brands out there. You got to go sample them. But probably the number one most important thing, once you decide if you want a sheet or a block or a sketch pad, however you want to get it, is the weight. So here it says this is 140 pound on this block. In fact, this block here is 140 pound, and this pad's 140 pound, and 140 pound is probably the most common weight to get your watercolor paper, and you can do amazing things on 140 pound. I personally like to go higher. I go 300. Now 300 is more expensive. The heavier the weight, the more expensive it is. I personally feel I can get more out of my color. I can layer it more. I can get a brighter vibrance from it. I do know artists that do very well on 140, but it was just not for me. The other thing you'll read here is it'll say 100% cotton. That's important, because if it doesn't say 100% cotton, it probably is made out of wood or recycled materials, and that sounds great because it's going to be cheaper. But what you're going to experience with that kind of paper is the color going to be hard to lift off. Like for example, if you've ever watched me paint, I use a lot of masking fluid. I like to layer and then peel the masking fluid off. And if I was to do that on a student grade paper, on a paper made not 100% cotton, it would rip the paper. There's no way I could use masking fluid on a lesser grade paper than what the Arches is and a few other, 100% cotton. You want 100% cotton. Sizing is another thing that you want to consider in your paper. So if you have information on it, and it's going to be here on the back, sizing is in all paper. Sometimes it's just a layer on top, sometimes it's made so it's through and through. Sizing in paper is a binding agent that allows the watercolors to kind of sit on top and doesn't allow it to absorb in super fast, like as if it was a paper towel. And it gives you a chance to maneuver the techniques and the paints, and it gives you a chance to, set your painting up. So sizing is important in your watercolor paper. You want to make sure it has sizing. Most papers do, if it's a professional grade, if it's 100% cotton. And the other thing you're looking for is it acid free when using any art material. Usually if you buy something that says professional grade, you're gonna get acid free. And what that means is it's not gonna fade over time. You're not gonna hang it on the wall and a week later realize the sun damaged it. Now the last thing you want to look at or consider, and this one here is personal choice, is the texture of the paper. This here says cold press, and in Arches it's kind of all color coordinated. Notice this one's green, this one's like magenta, kind of purplish. This one is hot press. And this one's not a very common one. This is rough. Those are the three most common. Usually hot and cold are the most common textures. Now, hot press is my favorite. Hot press is smooth watercolor. It's great for creating lots of little details and textures, kind of like if you're drawing it in or dry brushing. Cold press, now that's got a little bit of a tooth to it. So the cold press is great, especially like if you're going to paint a landscape. When I paint my leaf paintings and stuff, it picks up really nice textures. But if you like something with a lot of texture, that's what the rough press is. Now the rough, now this has got some texture. And you can do some pretty cool things with your washes with that, especially when you dry brush over it. It's really gonna pick up on the texture. So to recap, you gotta consider how you want the paper. You want to consider the texture of the paper. You wanna think about the weight of the paper. And if you want a high quality watercolor paper, you want to make sure it's 100% cotton, it's acid free, and if it's got those things, then the sizing's probably going to be right too. But the most important thing is you got to go out and experiment on some of these papers. Find the paper that best suits your painting style. Well, I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I'd love to hear in the comment section what you like in paper, or maybe something that you want to know more about paper. Thanks for watching.